You know, it was recently revealed that the former royal known as Prince Harry may have used poetic license in his international best-selling book. Oh yes, Spare. Remember that? Over a year and a bit ago now. And we told you, of course, how Penguin Random House were absolutely delighted with the fact that Harry had signed to them, offering him a mega deal, and of course it was going to be his story. In fact, let's not forget that Harry went on record literally around the world saying it was good to be able to tell his version of events. It's funny though, isn't it, how things take a turn for the strangeness, shall we say. But it appears that Prince Harry is truly not alone. Let me explain. Hi, nice to see you today. Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't you dare nod off. You all right? Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me today. Fascinating this, really, because actually what I'm going to tell you may shock you, simply as it did me. Because yes, Prince Harry's been blasted in the media all about how possibly he now didn't tell or exaggerated certain parts of his story for poetic license to sell the book. You know the bits I'm talking about in Spare. But now step forward a man who's just picked up an award from the Royals, a very favourite DJ over here in the United Kingdom, Tony Blackburn. Tony was an integral part of the launch of Radio 1 way back in 1967. And a few years back now, along with a ghostwriter, he decided to write his tell-all book. And in his tell-all book, which I do remember because I worked with Tony on a number of radio stations, he was very big about the topics and the stories around them. Now what's interesting is the biggest claim was that Tony apparently had liaisons with over 250 paramours, ladies. Yeah, and people were a little bit stunned at that stretch of truth, some might suggest. Now apparently, according to Tony, he literally made it up because the publisher decided that they needed a little bit more salacious gossip. So he sat down with the writer and thought, well, what can he say? So he stretched the truth, as he pointed out. Now what's interesting here is this is very damaging for the book industry, because while we know celebrities lie, and let me tell you, I've worked with enough celebrities in my time to know exactly their version of events and the reality, and I've been offered on numerous occasions the opportunity for large sums of money to literally sit down and ghostwrite somebody's autobiography. It's not worth it because they really just don't tell the truth. They tell their heightened version of events. I would always say to you it's best to get the unauthorized biography, because literally when you read something like Lana Turner's book, which I devoured when it came out, you know, as Mickey Rooney told me, it certainly didn't resemble the truth of anything that went on at MGM, but this was Lana's version, her, shall we say, sanitized version. So while people are attacking Prince Harry and saying, well, you know, he didn't tell the truth in Spare, seemingly he's now not alone. Quite a few stars stretch the truth, all for that mega advance from the publishing companies. And of course, then they sell it to you and I, the stupid public, expecting us to believe it. Many years later, though, suggesting, oh, well, I just told it off, you know. So now, do we get a refund on Spare or indeed Tony Blackburn's book? How would the publishers think about that now? Interesting development, isn't it? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.